What if one of the largest hypothetical scenarios in the history of hip-hop and love suddenly came to pass? Imagine waking up to an amazing conversation on social media. What if Kirk and Jasmine had started a completely new life together and were now raising 3 children? The internet would catch fire in a matter of minutes. Theories would start to float on fan pages. Breaking arguments would be posted on reaction channels. There would be a wide range of viewpoints in the comment sections. Some bystanders claim it's unthinkable. Some may question how such a choice could have such a profound impact on the history of hip-hop and love. Naturally, this is merely a fictitious fan scenario. However, the most important discussions often start with a single straightforward question. And what if? The romance between Kirk and Rasheeda has long been one of the series' most talked about plotlines. Fans have witnessed their triumphs, significant family events, challenging talks, and times when their bond was put to the test. Imagining a different course of events naturally elicits strong emotions because viewers have been following that adventure for so long. Imagine a different timeline now. Imagine Kirk making a completely different decision for the future rather than life going on as fans now know. Years pass. Life shifts. Unexpected decisions lead to unexpected outcomes. Fans eventually started hearing one ridiculous rumor about this fictional world. At the moment, Kirk and Jasmine are raising 3 kids together. People are immediately divided by social media. Some supporters contend that everyone ought to be given the chance to start afresh. Another group claims that it is difficult to just forget the past. Both sides fiercely defend their positions. Within hours, the fan concept is being discussed on entertainment blogs. Rather than as factual news or reality, it is one of the biggest what-if discussions the love and hip-hop community has ever imagined. Reaction developers started posing intriguing queries. What would be the differences in everyone's lives? Would Kirk still be the same person? Would Jasmine's duties be entirely different? How Rasheeda would react if this imagined scenario came to pass is perhaps the most important question of all. Fans soon start pinning their own narratives. Some anticipate Rasheeda concentrating only on her companies and creating a future that is even more resilient and self-sufficient. Some claim she would just ignore the online discussions and carry on with her life without looking back. Another group envisions something completely different. They believe that in the end she will speak, not out of anger, but to warn everyone that every decision has repercussions. This fictitious timeline lacks a significant conflict. Rather, people start thinking about how a single choice could have a big impact on many people's lives. With Jasmine, Kirk now sees himself as the father of 3 little children, which gives him obligations he has never had to deal with. His everyday schedule appears to be unusual. He has different priorities. Every choice is made with the family in mind. Jasmine, meanwhile, starts a whole new phase of her life. It takes patience, teamwork, and constant sacrifice to raise 3 children. The glamorous moments that viewers often associate with reality television are much diminished as compared to ordinary parenting. Family routines, school mornings, late evenings, and unexpected obstacles. In this fictional world, accountability begins to take precedence over drama. The concept is quite fascinating to certain enthusiasts. Whether or not such a future would have been feasible is still up for debate. Online surveys are used to get feedback from viewers. Would there have been harmony in this different family life? Or would it have resulted in even more difficult problems? In a matter of hours, thousands of comments are submitted. Everybody has a different viewpoint. Some viewers think that humans are always changing and evolving. Some people think that some decisions change relationships forever. Neither side is able to persuade the other. The conversation only gets longer. New cast members of Love and Hip Hop join the fan discussion in the meanwhile. People make assumptions about how their friends would respond. Would they be in favor of the upcoming chapter? Would they continue to be impartial? Or would they urge everyone to move on from the past? Once more, since this isn't reality, nobody knows. It's only a fan's speculation about how a new choice could fundamentally change the narrative that everyone is already familiar with. That's precisely why the conversation gets so interesting. The goal is not to prove anything. It has to do with exploring possibilities. An intriguing pattern starts to emerge as more individuals join the discussion. Many people completely give up talking about relationships. Rather, they start talking about responsibility. These concepts are at the center of the discussion. One thing is evident at the end of the day. One of the most frequent hypothetical discussions among romance and hip-hop enthusiasts is the what-if scenario. Imagining a potential future inspires viewers to consider how different decisions can have a big impact on people's lives, even though no one believes it actually happened. Furthermore, the story is just getting started in this made-up era. The impact of this made-up family life on those around them is examined in the following chapter, along with the question of whether the past can actually stay in the past. Several years have now gone by in this made-up timeline. Longtime lovers and hip-hop fans recall a very different kind of life. The headlines no longer revolve around past issues. Rather, each discussion revolves around a single query. How has life changed now Kirk and Jasmine are raising 3 children together? Mornings start early in this made-up tale. The house is constantly occupied. A child is preparing for school. Someone else is requesting breakfast. The youngest requires care even before everyone has completed their morning coffee. There seems to be a lot going on every day. The peaceful existence that many people envision is no longer possible. Rather, new duties emerge every hour. Kirk soon discovers that raising 3 kids demands ongoing care. There are family dinners, doctor's visits, weekend plans, school functions to attend, and homework to assist with. The timetable never seems to slow down. In this fictional story, viewers get to see a whole different side of him for the first time. Rather than chasing fame, he spends most of his time trying to balance his family life. Jasmine is managing her own difficulties in the meantime. It's difficult to raise 3 small children. On certain days, everything proceeds as planned. On other days, everything looks so erratic. A child contracts a cold. Someone else neglects to submit a crucial homework assignment. Plans are subject to change at any time. Careful planning is necessary for even basic family outings. This imaginary Jasmine is committed to giving the kids a safe environment despite her hectic schedule. Hip-hop and romance lovers continue to clash as word of this fictional family spreads on social media. This possible future, according to some observers, symbolizes personal development. The complicated history that preceded it is still being discussed by others. Neither viewpoint vanishes. Online, both sides are still expressing their opinions. Fictional content is posted on entertainment pages where debates are taking place. Once more, everyone is aware that this is a fan-made situation. Still, hundreds of individuals keep speculating about what life would have been like. In the meantime, a second crucial question starts to gain momentum. In this alternate timeline, what is Rasheeda doing? Many theories are held by fans. Others believe she has further grown her enterprises. Others witness her taking trips, starting new endeavors, and concentrating only on her own achievements. One specific aspect is present in almost all fan-imagined versions. She refuses to let her history dictate how she lives now. Rather, she keeps constructing the life she desires. Throughout the online conversation, this proposal is praised. Many individuals remark that moving forward, rather than looking back, is typically the best method to better oneself. The kids are the main characters in this made-up tale once more. Birthdays unite the whole family. Performances at schools become important occasions. Adventures over the weekend create amazing memories. Daily parenting becomes the biggest challenge instead of major confrontations. Missing backpacks, late-night schoolwork, football practice, and family movie nights. The most significant moments gradually emerge from the simplest ones. Kirk begins to understand that family is more than just words. Consistency, everyday presence, honoring commitments, lending a hand to others, and listening are its pillars. Along this made-up chronology, these lessons ultimately transform him. Jasmine also observes those modifications. She starts to see someone who prioritizes accountability over attention from the public. Together, they discover that the most important part of raising kids is teamwork. Every day isn't flawless. There are still disagreements. Stress is still evident. However, the children's best interests are now taken into consideration while making decisions. Outside the home, fan chats are still continuing. In this possible scenario, reaction artists wonder if the history of hip-hop 2 and love would have been significantly different. Would the friendships have been different? Would there have been other schemes? Would each person have been perceived differently by the audience? Knowing the answers is still difficult. Because of this, the hypothetical situation is interesting. It encourages creativity rather than certainty. The three kids keep growing as another made-up year goes by. The eldest grows more self-sufficient. A distinct personality emerges in the middle child. The child's ardent curiosity keeps everyone happy. Family customs start to emerge. Holiday festivities get more intense. There are times of pride at school. This fictional family gradually takes on its own personality. In the meantime, fans keep drawing comparisons between this imagined future and the real reality. The other story appeals to some people. Others are still connected to the initial schedule. Neither side is able to persuade the other. The argument itself turns into a form of entertainment. One thing becomes more evident as the story draws to a close. In this imaginary universe, life hasn't become any easier. It just moved. The difficulties changed. The order of importance shifted. The future was changed. One question remains unresolved, though. Is it feasible for the past to stop having an impact on the present? Or will everyone's recollections from the past follow them no matter how far life goes? The next chapter is built up by that question, because some subjects can never be completely avoided, even in this completely made-up past. Everyone will eventually have to choose between focusing on the future and continuing to gaze back. As the years passed in this fictitious what-if scenario, Kirk and Jasmine's life stabilized. Their three kids were growing up fast. The oldest had begun asking about the background of the family. The middle child loved being the center of attention and valued spending time with both parents. The youngest followed everyone and made everyone laugh wherever they went in the house. At least from the outside, their house felt serene for the first time in years. However, every family has a history, and occasionally kids are interested in tales they weren't there to see. One evening during dinner, the oldest child posed a simple inquiry. There was silence in the room. "Were you together all the time, Dad?" Kirk took a deep breath and glanced across the table. He was aware that in this hypothetical scenario, being truthful was crucial. He clarified that life doesn't always go according to plan. People make errors, develop, and learn. It is crucial to strive for daily personal growth. The kids paid close attention. They understood one aspect, but they were too small to understand the others. Families are not perfect. Every family has difficulties. Long after dinner was over, Kirk thought about that topic. It was a reminder that decisions made years ago still had an impact on the present. Meanwhile, Jasmine thought about how suddenly her life had changed. She remembers a time when public opinion, rumors, and headlines appeared to control every conversation. Now, in this made-up future, she focused mostly on assisting the kids in achieving their goals. Public attention has become significantly less valuable than school sessions, weekend activities, family vacations, and basic everyday experiences. Outside the house, however, fans of love and hip-hop in this fictional world were talking about the alternative chronology. In fake opinion pieces on entertainment pages, viewers were asked if this version of events marked progress or just a different path. Some people think that everyone ought to be given another chance. Some claim that some decisions had long-term effects. Neither viewpoint vanished. Rather, the discussion continued to develop on social media. Rasheeda also piqued people's interest. She had established an extraordinarily prosperous life centered on business, family, and personal development in this made-up tale. She continued to be dedicated to generating new opportunities rather than dwelling on the past. Fans applauded how her journey was portrayed. Many have said that concentrating on your own destiny, rather than other people's decisions, is frequently the key to great achievement. That claim soon rose to the top of the viewers' favorite topics. Meanwhile, another significant event entered this imaginary timeline. The oldest child prepared for a major school event. The auditorium was packed with parents. Families were welcomed by teachers. Children eagerly awaited backstage. Jasmine and Kirk watched the show together with excitement. Everything else vanished for a time. There are no rumors, headlines, or internet chats. Just family, memories, and pride. That quiet moment served as a reminder to both of how much priorities may shift over time. Public attention had seemed so crucial years ago. Now, nothing was more significant than witnessing three of their children's smiles. As the festivities came to a conclusion, many imaginary admirers on the internet speculated about how everyone's lives would have turned out if this alternate scenario had actually occurred. Would the performers remain pals? Would the primary plot points of the show have changed? Would fans have responded in the same way? No one could discover the truth. The most fascinating aspect of the potential conversation was still that uncertainty. There was nothing to prove. Imagining potential outcomes was necessary. There was another family discussion at home. The kids inquired about ancient family pictures. They chuckled as they recalled their early years. Their aspirations for the future were similar. It appeared to be a normal evening, but the most memorable events are frequently the most ordinary. In solitude, Kirk came to a realization. In this fictional world, success was not based on headlines or media coverage. It was measured by being present and honoring commitments, by creating memories the children will always treasure. Jasmine reached a similar conclusion. Everyday family life wasn't glamorous. There were difficult mornings. There were some exhausting evenings. But overcoming each obstacle as a team was worthwhile. Their collaboration across this made-up timeline was reinforced by that understanding. But the fan controversy persisted outside their house. This alternate future was adored by some spectators. Others enjoyed the well-known story of love and hip-hop. It was okay if everyone's ideas continued to differ. After all, people's enthusiasm for speculating about many possibilities was what started the entire conversation. As yet another fictitious year came to an end, one more question began to circulate around the fan community. What will happen next? Would this hypothetical family still have a tranquil life? Or would everything they had created together finally be destroyed by the resurgence of old memories? The answer was unknown. However, everyone was curious since every story eventually reaches a point where the past and the future collide, even in imaginary universes. And in the penultimate part of this imagined voyage, one crucial choice has the power to change everything once more. As the hypothetical what-if novel neared its last chapter, years had passed since readers had envisioned this conceivable world. The three kids were no longer little kids having a good time at home. They were now older. They have all developed into distinct individuals. The oldest had developed into a conscientious and watchful sibling. The middle child had a passion for music and wanted to perform. The youngest remained the lifeblood of the family, making everyone laugh wherever they went. Family life had become important in this made-up society. The public's attention and the thrill of headlines had gradually diminished. On the other hand, birthdays began to take center stage. Graduations from schools become special occasions. Family vacations over the weekend produced memories that were far more meaningful than anything shared online. Kirk frequently considered how his life had changed over time. He came to understand that every decision has consequences during this made-up time. The decisions people make today often have an impact on the lives of future generations. Seeing his children grow taught him lessons he could never have learnt from a celebrity. Unwavering love, accountability, consistency, and tolerance. Jasmine considered her own path in the meanwhile. Life had not always been easy. There had been tough times, unexpected difficulties, and uncertain days. However, having three kids had fundamentally altered her perspective on accomplishment. Attention was no longer a metric of success. The stability and contentment of her family served as a gauge. Laughter erupted across the house during another family get-together. In the backyard, the kids played together. The air was filled with music. Everyone made fresh memories for the future as they talked about their prior experiences. Everything was quiet for a moment.